President and owner of BTE Technologies located in Hanover, Maryland, which produces work simulation and physical therapy equipment. He is also a board member of the National Association of Manufacturers, representing small and medium-sized manufacturers. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chairman and members of the committee. I'm Chuck Wetherington, as you said, President and an owner of BTE Technologies, a small company headquartered in Hanover, Maryland. We have offices in Denver, Colorado as well. I'm prepared a statement for the record and will make my remarks brief at this time. At BTE, we have 78 employees and produce a range of medical devices focused on physical therapy, industrial rehabilitation, and sports medicine. In 2001, we made a decision to place greater focus on exports. We have the good fortune of being in a product space where U.S. flag goods are held in very high esteem in the world marketplace. I'm happy to say that since 2002, our exports have grown tenfold, from 3% of our revenues to now 35%. We currently export to 28 countries in the world. Exports, obviously, have been a key part of our company's strategy and success. So how important is small business to U.S. exports? Of U.S. companies that export, over 97% of them are small and mid-sized businesses. Yet those companies only represent 30% of the total dollar value of all U.S. exports. This is because 2/3 of all smaller exporters sell to just one country, and 2/3 have fewer than 5 export sales per year. We have a lot of room to grow, and with the right conditions, U.S. small companies can flourish in the global marketplace. Today, I would like to mention 4 things that are critical for U.S. companies, especially small companies, to be able to successfully export. First, we need currencies that reflect market values. When the dollar is excessively strong against other currencies, U.S. goods become expensive in global markets and exports decline. When the dollar has adjusted to a more realistic value, exports grow. Of course, this sounds like common sense, but it is a fact that's too often overlooked. We have just seen this play itself out in the past decade. As the dollar came off its 2002 high, our exports have grown dramatically. NAM hears every day from companies who say the value of the dollar has allowed them to be internationally competitive again. Many companies, particularly small and mid-size, say the primary reason they are doing well is their export performance, which has offset softening domestic demand. Second, we need free trade agreements that open markets for U.S. goods. I recognize that there are concerns about our free trade agreements, but I must say, from the perspective of a small business trying to export, they have been very important to us. The United States is already open to the world. Much of the rest of the world has a higher tariff and non-tariff barriers to U.S. exports. We need these agreements to open foreign markets for our goods. Third, it is very important that we see the removal of standards and regulatory barriers, one of those non-tariff barriers I spoke of, for the sale of U.S. goods in foreign markets. This is one of the big hurdles we face at BTE. A good example is a medical device directive in the European Union. One would think that the EU would be about the easiest place after Canada and Mexico for the U.S. company to export, and in many ways it is. But this directive has made it very expensive and very difficult and time-consuming for us to be certified. We're seeing signs that others are starting to follow the EU's lead. The government could help by working to develop some level of standardization. This might include negotiating global standards or at least reaching agreements for reciprocity between certifying agencies. Multiple standards greatly increase the costs of production and the costs of bringing new products to market, and this would be especially helpful for small companies. The fourth priority is the U.S. government export assistance. At BTE, we have found a range of services provided by the U.S. Commercial Service to be instrumental in our success. We worked with the Baltimore Export Assistance Center to help us find distributors overseas, conduct background checks on potential customers and agents, and do country analysis identifying markets for our products. I have to add at this point, this has also been a marvelous place for us to see state associations working with federal associations through the Maryland Department of Business and Economic Development, working hand in hand with commercial services. We've been able to get the best possible solutions for our needs. For small companies, these services are essential to success in exporting. Most of us don't have the resources to have large export divisions or offices overseas to ferret out new business. One problem is the increasing shifting of costs of these promotion programs back to the U.S. businesses. This is in contrast to the support that other governments provide to their exporters. Some of these countries pay up to 70% for their companies to attend trade shows. In BTE's experience, we have spent over $100,000 in just the last 4 years just to attend Medica, the annual trade show that covers our field. The Australian government, for example, recently announced that grants for export market development would be boosted to $200 million. By contrast, the comparable U.S. program is funded at $2 million, although we have significantly more small companies that could benefit. Another important export service is export financing. My company has taken advantage of small business services at XM Bank and has made it has made a significant difference in the number of our recent sales. I strongly encourage you to continue support for these import financing opportunities for small companies. In conclusion, I would like to thank you and the members of the subcommittee for this opportunity to testify on such an important issue. We're in a globalized world, and our small businesses need to be in a position to avail ourselves of global opportunities in order to improve the standard of living of all Americans. Certainly, a determined export promotion effort focusing on increased participation of America's small and mid-sized companies in world markets should be an important endeavor. My prepared statement contains more specific suggestions. Thank you, Madam